Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 5, 19, 16, 9. Test, test. Hope for a new Burning Arrow Ignite build. Yep, dude, I was literally just checking that. Life stacking, that was actually interesting. I'll just try to figure it out. It's the first time I'm doing like a multi-stream. Means it's currently live on both Twitch and YouTube since Twitch allows multi-streaming since October. I thought I'm gonna make like, since I haven't even gotten time yet to read patch notes, I'm gonna do this today and check out the new stuff, the new gems, and then whatever they introduced or announced or released. So, it's a bit weird to actually have like 10,000 chats and whatnot, but there is like a bunch of like guidelines that you have to follow. A bit weird. For example, Twitch does not allow to have chat enabled. Means if I make an overlay where I see, hey, there's the chat, I can enable Twitch chat, but it's not allowed to have the YouTube chat implemented in your live stream if you're streaming on Twitch. Kind of. Which is it's stupid if you ask me, honestly. And it's like the same thing with like alerts and stuff. Yeah, Mr. Atomic, thanks for T1, man. Thanks for 63. And there was no alert either. F. Oh, there are no alerts. Was a bad video quality on YouTube? I have no idea. Is it bad? It's actually bad. But I guess trying to figure that out so that actually runs. Thing. I don't know where you can find that. Oh, wait. Here is a live stream. Click on that. Doesn't look too bad if you put up the quality like on a YouTube video, so should be fine. But still, why was there no alert? Ah. Sus. Properties. No. Nope. Oh, maybe because the alerts are off. Now?
New subscription received.
Oh, it works.
Class 2
Perfect.
access granted. Enjoy your stay.
I need mods for YouTube too. It's just like crazy that. Yeah, little Kovic, thanks for the
New
T1, man.
subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
You should see that. You know, I've been streaming on YouTube, on Twitch since I think 2017, 2018, somewhere. And it's the first time I'm streaming on YouTube as well. And I tell you, YouTube chat is like 10 times more activity on than Twitch. It would just be great to somehow use the text size. Chat text. Because I have old eyes, so they don't see that good, you know? Anyways, but I guess it should work now. Twitch is for the fancy customers. I mean, in a perfect scenario, I would like to maintain streaming on both platforms at the same time. And this is like today, this like patch note day or whatever, catch-up thing, is more likely just a test. Does it actually work? How it works, stuff like that, you know? But it seems like it's working. But yeah, I definitely need to like figure out how to make stuff bigger, but it seems like it's working. So, what people already read or done, what I haven't done yet, but I had so much work to do in the past couple of days. But it's fine. You know, you need to like cover that time anyways. It's still like 1, 2, 3, 4 days until. So, old eyes, aren't you 18 years old? Yeah, technically, like. But yeah, I think let's just go from top to bottom as always. Probably freaking 10 hours of reading. I don't even know what about the music though. Twitch doesn't really mind too much what music are you playing as long as you don't get reported, but I guess YouTube has different guidelines than that. Yeah, it's like, obviously I have a plan what I want to league start, or at least like 3, 4 different builds that I'm thinking about, but as long as we don't have the full information, all the gems, all the changes, all the charms, all the whatever. I mean, probably your league starter shouldn't have anything to do with the new stuff, you know? Probably not transfigure gems, because you don't know how long it will take to get those, how expensive they're gonna be, what's the meta gonna be like. Same with the charms, you know, how expensive are they? Power charge stacking charms, I don't know, 45 on hit charms and stuff like that. I wouldn't really rely my league starter on getting those, so I think you're better off with just a league starter that can do everything without all the new tech, and then figure out and probably purchase the stuff for your next build with the new stuff in mind, I guess. Figure out how to make it bigger, that's what she said? Yeah, true. Let's see, a melee build. Spoiler alert, at the moment, I'm really tending towards Arc again. Because Arc has some nice, interesting new gems where your first Arc is like splitting into 9 Arcs. And it's also like pretty good in terms of like ultimatum and those kind of things.
Enjoy your stay.
Yosha will be a shame. Thanks for the T1, man. Thanks for 25. Yeah, I've seen the Consecrated Path gem. I was just like with my first coffee, that's like the 3rd now. I checked the Consecrated Path and like it was like 10% more damage per endurance charge. Like, I think charge stacking might be absolutely ridiculous. This. Like, honestly, thinking about that you could already get like 13, 14, 15 power charges and then adding like 3 charms with +1. You know, it's would be interesting. Yeah, Arc Ignite, I'm talking, not Arc on hit. I really like the Mono Stacker Scion that I've done for all the Uber bosses and stuff, but that was like way higher budget, and the Arc Ignite worked really well. And I think I started last league with the Infernal Blow Ignite and then swapped to the Arc Ignite, and the Arc Ignite pretty much cleared the entire Atlas. It was pretty good. So I had like started with a 5 link, like 3-4 divines or something, and then worked towards like 15 divines or something, what the end version before rerolled was. Maybe 20 divines, I can't remember. But it was still like on a lower budget side, so. But yeah, so Challenge Leagues. Challenge Leagues are a great opportunity. They literally just copy-paste the same thing. I think this one is always like copy-paste and just swapped out. In the standard hardcore leagues, blah blah blah. In the Affliction Challenge League, you will encounter Sacred Wisps, which beckon you to enter overgrown passageways, blah blah blah. We've seen that, we've seen the videos, so I think all that kind of things make sense. So, guess what? Spoiler alert, there are gonna be 40 challenges to do. So, the Affliction League challenge includes a set of 40 new challenges. See? Dude, I'm so good at this game. It's crazy, man. So, added Ultimatum to the core game, rebalanced around the lower rate of encountering Ultimatum gameplay. See Ultimatum changes. Added 4 new diff cards, 2 which are designed by our supporters, with 2 designed by event winners. went winners. Okay, no spoilers here, I guess. Links have been added to the core drop pool. That Reckoning, wasn't it like a jewel? Finds of Destiny was the amulet. Rocky. Wait. These are all ancestor uniques, right? Rakiata's Dance. That was like, oh, so they added all the uniques from Trial of the Ancestors to the core game. So 16 new unique items, 7 of these being new replica uniques, added 5 new experimental base types. Added 633 more foiled unique items options to the Void Born Reliquary Key. Oh no. Please no. What is actually the most expensive thing that I've gotten out of the Reliquary Key yet? Besides a Watcher's Eye that can technically just be ultra garbage, so it doesn't really matter if it's like foil or not, but I think I once got the Exploding Flask. Pretty sure the Exploding Flask was like 20 divines or so, and like 1,000 Voidborn keys. Yeah, pretty much. The piss tabula, yeah. Range and Sound have received audio dialogue for part 2 of Path of Exile. Wow. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environments. Ah, the copy paste, dude. So, ultimatum changes. So, back in the days, Fireburst, I think ultimatum was 3.14, which was the Fireburst meta. And why Fireburst, I can actually show you that. Why it was actually that good. Like not Fireburst, but Ignite in general. Let's see, Fireburst, I'm pretty sure that was the newer version that I've done. 3.14, Initial Thoughts. This one. I even made a mana stacking Fireburst. I think it was this one. Yeah, the full Elder thingy. That was like the most chillest build. I don't really know if Arc got buffs or not. So, but that was basically Ultimatum. And here you see exactly why Ignite is so freaking good. It's similar to like Delirium, right? There's constantly monsters spawning, where there weren't monsters before, basically, right? It's not like a normal map where there's just a pack of monsters. Once they're dead, right? So Beyond is also like something where the monsters spawn out of corpses and stuff like that, and they weren't there before. So with Ignite Prolif, leaving those circles, the monsters spawn and instantly die again. So basically just have like your insane coverage of Ignite Prolifs, monsters are spawning, instantly dying again, and like the entire zone here is just full of like Ignite Prolifs, and that's why I really, really love Ignite for Ultimatum. I just don't know how good it will be early on with the new modifiers and stuff. But I can definitely see Ignite being like super insane for that. Hexblast, I can't remember what else we played there, but God, I would like to have the YouTube chat just bigger, man. There's like no set like on Twitch. I can just do like right click and then just change the size. Will be better. But yeah, so Ultimatum has been added to the core game, replacing Metamorph. That is good. Like Metamorph, I only know one person that actively was farming Metamorphs, and that's Palsteron. Basically, I've never seen anybody else doing like Metamorph grinding ever. So it's fine though. Metamorph wasn't really hurting too much, you know, you didn't really notice it. You just clear your map and then you're like, oh wait, there is Tane and let's just open that thing. But even though when Metamorph spawned, I always did it, and killing the metamorph itself, but even thinking about, I've never gone to the Tain's laboratory and put together my metamorph, even though I had the organs there, so I don't really mind this change at all. You'll have approximately an 8% chance to find the Trial Master and his Trials of Chaos in maps. That's like basically 8% is like the base chance for I think every mechanic. Ultimatum encounters are now 10 rounds by default, though it seems like hope you intend to last longer than 2 rounds. Okay. Because back in the day, it was like a mix. I think like 4 or 5 were guaranteed, and then it was just RNG if you got to 6 or 7 or 8. And when you hit 10, then you could enter, or then you got ported to the Trial Master, basically. But sometimes you just get to 4 and click your reward, and then it's like over. Like... Any Flicker Strike news? No thanks. You now have a chance to be teleported to Trial Master's arena for the 10th round in areas with a level of 81 or higher, rather than this being guaranteed. So, Trial Master is still a chance. Okay. That would be weird. If it's 10 rounds by default, you get Trial Master every single time, which would devalue everything. Ultimatum modifiers have been rebalanced, some new modifiers have been added, and some previous modifiers have been removed. Ultimatum modifiers that previously had 3 tiers of difficulty, such as Stormcaller runes, now have 4 tiers. Monster Ultimatum encounters no longer drop loot, other than the Trial Master, though they still guaranteed experience. Wait, they never dropped loot. They never dropped loot. Just had it in the end, no? Where's the 4 scourings that I just had? Either my loot filter is like super strict, or they never dropped any loot, so that doesn't really make sense. Dude, I'm killing all the rounds here, and I see not a single piece of loot. Oh, that might be that the filter is just... yeah, probably. Yeah, usually you just... after you're done, and you're successful, it just drops the loot out of the statue, whatever. But this line was specifically... monsters in Ultimatum encounters no longer drop loot other than the Trial Master. But yeah, as I said from the video here, I've never seen any loot. Basically, it was probably so bad loot that the loot filter just didn't show anything. Was Trial Master... was... You're right, that was the League MP got banned with his group. Because they figured out a way to get endless monster spawns. That was that, true. Yeah, remember now, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And a new Tainted Catalyst that can be obtained from the Trial Master. It applies a random quality type and amount of quality on a corrupted ring, amulet, or belt, and replaces the other quality types. That's a bit weird, though.
Access granted.
Yo, Balean Tears, thanks for the T1, man. Thank you. So, the thing is, like, you can use one of these catalysts, but the thing is, like, if you have, like, a mage blood or anything high, like, high value, you know, you can just use one and you get, like, oh, resistance, 20 quality. And then you get, like, 3 attack, and then you get, like, 2 resistance, and then you get 19 resistance, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? It's just... it's gonna be like, oh, I want to get quality on my double corrupted mage blood, so I need like 1,000 catalysts and hope. That's actually... But a new ring? I haven't even seen a new ring. So yeah, catalysts are now rewards from Ultimatum and are affected by map quantity, while aspects, previously known as Ultimatum aspects, combined into new unique jewel instead of the Power of Ordeals map. What? Ultimatum aspect, I don't know. California's unique engraved Ultimatum map can no longer be obtained in a map. Opened in a map device. You can once again vendor 5 inscribed ultimatums for a new inscribed ultimatum. The inscribed ultimatums I still remember. But the Engraved ultimatum map. What is that? You have a good VD. Volatile Dead. Haven't played that in so long. So I can't really say. You can once again edit a new round count display between the rounds. Kira can now offer map missions to complete an ultimatum. Okay, Kira can now offer maps. The area contains an ultimatum encounter. So basically the same like default stuff. Catalyst no longer offered as ritual rewards or a reward type of the. So they were gonna make Catalyst exclusive to ultimatum, which probably bumps up the price. Because the resistance catalysts are already like super expensive. Enough rewards from Heist, Expedition, Betrayal, Delirium, Legion, and Eldritch also have been replaced with ultimatum rewards. Yeah, well, so yeah, you still get them then everywhere, kind of. Existing amorphous Delirium orbs will be replaced with challenging Delirium orbs. Adds layers of Delirium. The ultimatum item rewards type to maps. The only source of challenging Delirium orbs. These are unobtainable as item drops from any other source. The only source of... What about Harvest?
New subscription.
Weren't you able to do like
access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Harvest bench, change your deli orbs, skittering and whatnot?
New subscription received.
Yo, Mr. Miyabi coming in with a big DT at 3 for 29 months streak and 20 Iftaronis, dude.
Access granted.
Thank you a bazillion dozen times, man.
New subscription received.
Thank you.
Access granted. Enjoy your stay.
The volume a little bit down here.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Dude, thanks so much. And Mr. Caxa as well with a T1. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
So, existing morphing incubators, so will be replaced, blah blah blah. Okay, that makes all sense. Expedition Remnant modifiers in Expedition site, they grant runic monsters and chests. The chance to drop catalysts. Ice contracts. Reduce the amount of catalysts obtained from highest chest, expedition, while unique metamorph scarabs have been replaced with ultimatum scarabs. Each scarab guarantees an ultimatum encounter. This comes granting increased experience from ultimatum monsters, or causing ultimatum encounters to grant additional rewards as though you completed additional rounds. That is like pretty cool. You just want to do like what, like winked ultimatum scarabs? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Mr. Miyabi, dude, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. The metamorph map crafting options and metamorph sextants modifier have been replaced with ultimatum. Blah blah blah. The 5 metamorph clusters on the atlas replaced with ultimatum. So ultimatum clusters. Added a new ultimatum cluster which contains the face of the ultimatum notable passive. The notable provides your maps with a 50% chance. With its 3 small passives, this cluster each provide your maps with a 5% chance to encounter or contain an ultimatum encounter. So basically the first one is just higher the chances like every other. Wondering if Maxtroll already has that. Was that tools, Atlas passive tree. Ultimatum. Oh, 323. Yo, Max already updated. Okay, dig. Probably they're exactly on the spot where... Oh wait, wasn't this... Yeah, I guess they just replaced everything that has to do with Metamorph with the ultimatum, so in that case... Added a new ultimatum cluster which contains a prove yourself worthy and stand your ground notable. 7 small passives in this cluster either cause ultimatum encounters in your maps to spawn 8% increased number of monsters, 5% chance, and increased experience. Seems like Ultimatum will be a good spot for experience farm, because there's so many things that give like increased experience. It's kind of cool. Yo, Wawan, yeah. Thanks for the 5 seconds. To prove your oh wait, we had this. No wait. Your maps to start a tier higher if possible, and cause ultimatum rewards in your maps to have 25% chance to be duplicated. Then your ground notable passive cause ultimatum encounters in your maps to get 3% reduced radius. Don't cause it to grant rewards as though you completed an additional round. Yo, Mr. Alt 2! Oh, dude, coming with a 50 bones! Dude, today's not even League Star. What's happening, dude? The Ninja coming with a T1. Appreciate for 1 year. 1 year in the bag. Much love. Can't wait for the League Star. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. But yo, Mr. Alt 2, what the hell? What the F, dude? Yeah, it's always the same, man, you know? I just don't... I personally, right? I'm not a pre-hyper. It's the worst thing when there's like a leak trailer, teaser, and Discord people message me, and when I stream anything other than PoE, they're like, yo, bro, are you skipping the league? Why are you not hyped and stuff, you know? And I'm like, dude, I still need to wait an entire week or 2 weeks or whatever, you know? And PoE is doing, like, GG is doing a good job with, like, showing everything, but nothing at the same time. You know, like this small little video where you had, like, this dude, you know, this could be an NPC, this could be a boss, it could be a map thingy, there could be a new endgame boss, it could be, like, everything. And just sitting here and thinking about what could it be, you know? It's like, I don't care, man. Because 2 days later, they're gonna tell me what it is, and I don't need to, like, stress myself about it, you know? So, for me... the hype usually kicks in, I'd say, Thursday or Friday on League Start. And it's not a rare occasion that I pick my League Start on Friday. Because, you know, usually it's like yeah, how would you say? Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's Friday, it's 17, it's 5 p.m. I know, like, oh, in 3 hours is League Start, what are we gonna play? And then I check my previous builds, I'm like, hey, this could work, yeah, let's just play this one. Then then it's League Start, and we go, you know? I don't, like, pre-plan a month ahead when I'm gonna League Start and whatnot. I'm always going with the flow. I'm always, like, asking myself, what would I be up to play right now? The bow character, yeah, maybe Brand. I haven't played Brand in a while, so maybe I League Start Brands, you know? This is the way I do it. Because I don't need to be the first one killing a Guardian or an Uber boss, you know? And there's people doing, like, you know, the League Start practices and stuff. They kill the first, like, Ubers in, like, day 2 of the league, and I'm, like, in yellow maps. But I don't personally mind that. So... and if my League Start is a fail, then I reroll. And if the next League Start is also a fail, then I reroll again. I don't really mind the process of, like, re-leveling or doing those kind of things in the first couple of days. I just enjoy League Start as general, you know, having nothing and try to get something done. Your first 6 link, your first, you know, high tier map, your first, like, whatever, your first divine orb drop. These are all, like, super magical things for me, right? Because, like, if you're 2 months into the league and you have, like, 500 divines in your stash and a mage spell, then you're like, oh, a divine drop. You pick them up as a chaos, you don't really care about it, you know? But in the start, yo, will I get my first divine orb in the campaign, you know? Am I planning to go offline soon? Do I keep the divine? Will it be more expensive tomorrow? Maybe I should buy fusings, or do I even buy a 5-link and just don't try to link myself? You know, it's, like, way better. At some point in the league, since I never use the crafting bench or something, I always manually fuse my items, right? And even if it takes 10,000 fusing, you still have the currency to do so. But early on, you know, if you have 2 divines and you play on a 4-link and you're like, bro, I'm gonna swap the two divines into, like, I don't know, 600 fusings, and you don't link it, you lost everything and got nothing, you know? But it's like the early gambling is like... Yo, Saku, thanks for the T1, man. And we are going over to the skill changes later on. So, added a new ultimatum cluster which contains the Ruinous Wager keystone as well as the Conqueror of the Stones. Survive the onslaught, slaughter them all, and protect the altar. Notable passive. The entry small passive provides your maps with a 5% chance to contain an ultimatum encounter. But the thing is, I think about ultimatum being like super cool is a nice mechanic overall, and I guess pretty profitable as I remember from Ultimatum League. But I also saw a bunch of other content creators that say like, yo, if you go ultimatum early on, that's the biggest bait, don't do it. I don't really know why. But, you know, when I play, like, Arc Ignite as my League starter, then I just instantly go, like, Ultimatum, Expedition, and Legion. Like, why not? Hefty Clear, Ignite Prolifs. Stormbringer gonna be strong. I mean, you know, the thing is, the power spikes, the power level that we're gonna get next League is gonna be so much higher than everything that we had. Because yeah, Harvest was a different type of power spike with having all perfect items. But it didn't give you like excessive power in the terms of you could get more than usual. You just had a bunch of perfect items giving you that much power. But honestly, with like, you know, making, you know, freaking Scion and go like, you think about it. You have like 5 ascendancies in one, right? If you pick like Scion, you get like, I don't know, Chieftain and Inquisitor. And then you get the Elementalist or the Occultist charm together with a Pathfinder charm and the Deadeye charm. And you're playing like 5 ascendancies at this point. And this will be interesting, especially when you think about Pathfinder with the, we get the additional flask charges every 3 seconds or something. With the belt and just like flask effect duration and gain charges and stuff, you have permanent flask uptime without Mage Blood. And so that could be a huge quality of life, getting this like flask charge gain charm for every other character to activate permanent flask on everything but having a Mage Blood or being Pathfinder. Yeah, it's like an Ascendancy stacker build. Yeah, Bill Cassie, I 100% agree. That's why Harvest League was so enjoyed by the community, because you could get very, very powerful items for super cheap. Oh yeah, true. Charms can have 2 stats. You know, Occultist's charm of the Inquisitor. So it's like 8 ascendancies. So, the new Ruina, we had this. The Conqueror of the Stones notable map to have 100% increased chance to require you to stand in the stone circles. That was the worst part. Like, which one was there? There was the survival, the killing everything, the stone circles, and that was a 4th one. But the stone circles were like the worst part. The kill all and survive is like the easiest. I don't even know what's the difference between survive and slaughter them all. I think survive took longer because there was like a timer that you have to survive, while slaughter is just the amount of monsters that you killed, which was extremely fast the better clear you had. Chance to require you to survive. So that's pretty good. So basically, you will skill mostly into survive and slaughter. Defeat waves of enemies. With these types of encounters, you're killing 20% reduced number of enemies. Next, requiring you to defeat waves and enemies to require killing 10% reduced number of enemies. Protect the altar. Oh, I think that was the last one, yeah. Your maps to have 100% increased chance to require you to protect the altar, and ultimatum altars in your maps have 50% increased life. All passive prior causes ultimatum altars in your maps to have 25. Which was the protect the altars? You run your game in admin mode? No. Really? Like EK last league, following your guides, got hooked to it. Yeah, EK Ignite is insane. But you lose the helm enchant, right? You lose all the enchants. Glove enchant, boot enchant, and the helm enchant. And before, there was a threshold jewel lets you fire your EK in a radius. Then they converted into a helm enchant because they removed the threshold jewels, and now they removed the helm enchant as well. So the Grueling Countless Keystone, as well as the Worthy of the Past, Worthy of the Present, Worthy of the Future, notable. 6 small passive in this cluster. Each cause ultimatum rewards in your maps. You have 10% increased chance to be inscribed ultimatums. The new Grueling Gauntlet Keystone passive causes ultimatum encounters in your maps to last 3 additional rounds, but makes it so you cannot choose which ultimatum modifiers is applied each round and cannot have a boss in the final round. This is still gonna be very good. If you have a very tanky, fast, good clear speed build, you know, 3 additional rounds with a chance of duplicating the loot, with the extra experience, with all that shit, it seems like ultimatum is gonna be completely ridiculous. 50% chance to increase unique items. Then we have currency items and div cards. That's a question if I'm gonna... I think... So, just like taking this like ahead here. So they had this arc here of surging, where the beam splits towards 9 additional targets, but cannot further split or something. But the more important thing is this one. Arc of Oscillating, or Oscillating. 50% more damage with hits and ailments for each remaining chain. So, and it chains already 7 times. So, if you get like with Awakened Chain and the quality being 20 gives like +1 chain. Let's say you get to like, let's say 10 or 12, you know? And that's like a 600% more damage. The thing though is, the base damage gets reduced. For example, Arc PoE. Arc at level 20 has about 1.2k, right? Let's write this down. So that was like 200 to 1k. Then this is the normal Arc version. Then you have the Surging, which has 400 to 2.2 basically. Let's do 200 to 1.2k is normal Arc. Then you have 400 to what do you say? Let's say 2.2k is the Surging. But this will be played as a bow character more or less. Like, it's like Lightning Arrow, where you just shoot one arc, and as far as I see it, you shoot one arc, as soon as it hits something, it splits into like 9. Or this isn't that like the Javelin from Diablo 2. Or you just shoot your arc and it's actually 9 beams. But the thing is, like, the Oscillating has 100 to 500. So as you see, the Oscillating is like the weakest arc in terms of base damage. But therefore, instead of 15% more damage, it gives 50% more damage. Which will increase your single target tremendously. And now comes the play. This plays perfectly in the hands of my mana stacking arc, because the mana stacking arc gets all his flat damage, not like from Arcane Cloak and Archmage. So in that case, getting all the flat damage from mana sources makes this gem like the undisputed best, because I don't rely too much on the base damage of Arc itself. Maybe you wouldn't even go levels anymore in this. On Searching, since the damage is like twice as high as the normal Arc, then plus levels will be even more insane. But on this version, I don't think so. Effectiveness of added damage 60%. Yep. This one 230. Check the link. I don't see any links. Yeah, Lightning Fury, exactly. This is how I can see it, where you hit like one arc, as soon as you hit something, it spreads. Still, nobody can see links. Besides yourself. But there is like another thing that is very, 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 very interesting for me, and that is the rework of Penance Brand. Have you seen that this thing has like a 570% more damage, like damage effectiveness? And ticks like 5 times faster than before. That thing looks absolutely crazy. So, added a new ultimatum cluster, which contains the Brave the Tower notable passive. This notable causes the ultimatum boss to drop full stack of random catalysts. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. It just works. Oh, the Metamorph stash tab has been converted to an Ultimatum stash tab, which can hold 5,000 of each type of catalyst and 16 sky. Okay, well, this is like literally how the Metamorph thing was, so in that case, who cares? I think a cast on crit falling zombies? That's not something I would consider playing, so I cannot really give my 2 cents about it. Oh, sure. Metamorph changes. But do Metamorph changes just like removed everything? Auto leak change. When Delirium Fog has or ceased its movement due to players engaging in other leak content, walking out of the mists, cause the Delirium Fog to dissipate. Reduce the drop rate of Forbidden Tomes. Reduce the drop rate of the Hour of Divinity and the Gilded Chalice unique relics. Okay. What? You look like God of War Kratos' foe? Have you gained weight? You look chubby. What? I lost weight, dude. What the hell? Oh man, I'm far away from being chubby, and I probably will never be. So okay, Atlas changes. The following mechs have been added back to the Atlas. Ashwood Bramble, Burial Chambers. Canyon is good. Core Crater, Crimson Township, Crystal Desert, Dig, Dry Deep. Fields, Foundry, Gardens, Ghetto, Grotto, Jungle Valley, Laboratory, over Laboratory. Yikes. Spell and Waste Pool. So, what get removed is the more important. Alleyways. Yeah, alley got removed, right? Arachne, Town Burrows, Beach, Set. Nobody cares about Cells, Cold River, Courthouse, Dungeon. Geode, Anti-Mansion, Lava Lake, Lila, Malformation, and Pit from other blocks, Elos, Terrace Tower, and Water. So Crimson Temple's still there. I mean, Tower is gone, yeah, but therefore we get Burial Chambers, so that's a fair trade, I guess. But Crimson Temple will stay. And Desecrated. What's the other Mageblood map? I mean, Crimson Township is a Mageblood map, like Apothecary map, but layout, so who cares? Defiled Cathedral. And as far as I see, Defiled Cathedral is still in there, and Crimson Temple as well. Gonna be another league of Crimson Temple, like every other league. Map tiers and locations have been shuffled. As always, some of the map bosses you're required to defeat to upgrade your Pantheon have changed as a result of the Atlas changes. As usual, crafting recipes that were blah blah blah. Some divination cards have found new homes as a result of these Atlas changes. Red Salt Extractor, the Return of the Red, and 3 Phases into the Dark can now be found in the port map. The Demon and the Wrath card can now be found in a Crater map. Wasn't the Demon the... Alright, wasn't it like a Headhunter card? The Double Corrupted Headhunter drops in Crater map now. Praetor is like pretty decent layout, honestly. Hey, Phoenix. Where do we go into barrel? The thing is, like, I mean, Doctor card should have a way higher drop chance than Apothecary, based on the value, right? I don't think those two cards have the same drop chance, because one is like, let's say 10 divines, the other is like 30 divines or something, so... And if they have the same drop chance, why would you farm barrel chambers over Crimson Temple if the card, if it drops, is a lot worth more, right? Does it change to the mirror mean? No, it's just like, when you activate the mirror, and then you play Ultimatum, then you play Blight, then you play anything, any leak mechanic, it will stop disappearing, which is good. As long as the encounter is like active or you're in range of the encounter. Because obviously, going in there, activating Blight, and then just clear everything, and you know, oh, Blight is running, so the fog will not disappear, and I just wait until the monsters kill the Blight pump, and that's it. So that's not how it works. You need to be in range of the leak mechanic to signalize the game you're actually playing it. If you don't. So... So transfer gems. Are these... Alternate quality gems, labyrinth, helmet gems, and unique threshold drills are all systems that we're trying to simply modify the behavior of skills. With the expansion, these have been combined in a new system called Transfigure Gems that allow us to fully achieve the goal of these three systems and then some. Transfigure Gems are alternate versions of existing skill gems that have different functionality and balance than their regular versions. We have added many of these, which interesting variations that drastically change how existing spells play. Some existing skill gems have had stats or interactions removed from the base gem and moved to the transfigured versions to provide more focused support for pre-existing playstyles. Divine Font at the end of the labyrinth is now a gem crafting device that can modify your skills and support gems by turning them into transfigured gems, add quality or experience to gems, or sacrifice the gems for one or more treasure keys to open Misaro's chest. A substantial amount of damage dealing skills have had their quality stats buffed. In most cases, they will be significantly more powerful than before and also more interesting. Many supports have also received changes to their quality stats. The vendor recipe for turning a level 20 gem into 20% quality level 1 version of the gem no longer works with skill gems, as the benefit quality provides to damage dealing skills is now more powerful. The vendor recipe can now be used with non-awakened support gems. That sucks a little bit, because that's what I usually always do. I start mapping, and once my gems hit level 20, I reset them to level 1 with 20% quality and level them up again. It takes like an hour, and they're like back to level 18, so you don't really feel a difference. And then they're just gonna be stronger, but apparently this doesn't work for skill gems anymore. Which is not the worst thing, because you're still running a bunch of support gems, so the ones that are left over, which are skill gems, are just gonna be peed on, choosy peed on, you know? Default Cathedral isn't currently up? I don't know, I always prefer Crimson Temple over Default. Even though I was farming a season of Default Cathedral, so I usually alternate between those. Because I'd say I run about 2,000 or 3,000 maps per league. And, you know, if you farm 5 leagues in a row Crimson Temple, you ran 15,000, 20,000, so... Anomalies, Divergent, and Phantasmal quality gems have been removed from the game. Existing alternate quality gems now have the base quality effect found on their respective gems. Prime and secondary regarding lenses can no longer be obtained. Existing items will be deleted upon logging in. Okay? Wow. Never log in, dude. Tainted blessings can no longer be obtained, and existing items will be deleted upon logging in. The following divination cards have been temporarily disabled. Divine Justice was like a divine... No, wait, it was a Sephiroth card. Terrible Secret, Blessing of the Moosh, and the Hook. Divination card can be turned in currently. Was Divine Justice? Oh, that was the helmet chant one. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So probably all the div cards here are lab enchant thingies. Grand Spectrum Neutral no longer drop from Isara's treasure chests. At the end of the labyrinth, they can now drop from Labyrinth Trove and Emperor's Vault found throughout Merciless and Eternal Labyrinth. Huh? So they drop now from these useless chests that are gated behind silver keys and stuff? It's actually... Oh, man. So no more speed running. I mean, you know, the question is always like, hey, if you get one of these gems in 1,000 runs, then you probably still don't care about. But that also means that the price of the Grand Spectrums are going to be absolutely ridiculous. That is crazy. Because if you check a current one, what is it like? Grand Spectrum... I don't know. Crimson Viridian. This one. Today, the minimum friends is already 35 divines. So this could be that based on those changes, people are not doing as much lab services anymore because of helmet chance, which breaks down an entire, like, money-making strategy. So either the gems become super valuable, or there's a lot less people running those. And with the Grand Spectrums not being in the endgame chests, means that this jewel, instead of like 35 divs, could be 100 divs plus. So, I mean, you guys can farm lab. I'm not, unless it's a mana stacking character, because agnostic is just so good. Like Mind of a Matter agnostic for labs, you just cannot die. It's so good. Imperial Robes can no longer be obtained. I think there was the, was it probably Metamorph thingy or whatever, or Helmet Chance. Yeah, enchanted items. Yo, that's gonna be so good. Because while mapping and doing leak mechanics, there is always these shitty enchanted items that you never want to pick up, and they're not gonna be there. Damn. So, mysterious incubators no longer reward enchanted items. I personally, I like these changes, honestly. I mean, we don't really have to read through everything in that case, because all this is like, oh, there was a leak mechanic rewarding enchanted items. Oh, it's gone now. Guess what? So now comes the rough part, the actual longest part with all the different things now. And therefore I grab a coffee and something to eat. I'll be right back real quick. Oh god, that's gonna be a lot, dude. I got nuts. Archmage, Spellblade, Energy Blade, Firestorm. I like my nuts. But the thing with Arc, I can definitely see that people are just gonna gem swap. You know, play I don't know, the Arc of Surging for mapping, and then when they want to do bosses, they just put this one in. Thanks, Oro. So I have one problem with this list. 90% of these gems I have never played. I don't know what the normal quality does. And I don't probably care what the new quality does, because, you know. Nothing better than a coffee. Snowing outside. Well, probably it's not snowing right now, but it did snow, so there's snow outside. There's just the cookies missing, but therefore we got nuts. So what's this one, right? Does it also include? Yeah, it does. So basically you can skip through all of that. Woo. Wait, are support gems in here as well? Yep, they are. That means we can scroll through that as well. I mean, then the patches are almost over. Okay, then let's finish the patch notes and then we go over the skill thingies, I guess. The Hinakora's death. You're a chieftain. Passes now because the aim is to the exploding is gone. Whatever. Passive trait changes master stat. Spirit grant increased accuracy against marked enemies, unique enemies, or nearby enemies. Now instant grant more accuracy. That is cool. I can apply accuracy stacker like every league, man. I've never played this Speaker of the Dead Keystone with, like, you know, giving monsters this touchy thing. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. So now it's you or your totems explode, instead of just what you do. So this basically is a buff for totem chieftain builds that I'm personally a big fan of, dude. I'm playing chieftain totems build every single league. Multiple times. Kappa. Destructively, Atlas Keystone allocated. Killing a map boss before the Maven can cast up the stakes no longer causes her to leave without summoning additional bosses. Okay, haven't played that one. So, the Ashes of the Stars unique amulet no longer provides increased mana reservation and okay. That is not good. That is a huge nerf to Ashes. Heat Shiver now has Gain 30% cold is extra fire against frozen enemies, previously 100. Okay, that's a big nerf to Heat Shiver. But that's good anyways, because there's so many builds using Heat Shiver and getting like so much damage out of it. Replica Dragon's Fang got nerfed, but still gives +3, so that's fine, I guess, because that's like the most thing. I mean, the mana reservation efficiency sucks a bit, but... Any news about skip campaign button? Chris Wilson doesn't want to have that. Yeah, of course Ashes is still insane, but losing 20% mana reservation efficiency is a huge thing. Well, happy birthday, Music Sour, then. So, the Camp Spirit unique gloves now have regen 1 rage per second for each 300 life. This is a good. Existing items can be made worse with a Divine Orb. But, now comes the big juicy but. Thinking about my probably at some point mid-game build, which is a power charge stacking Slayer with a replica. What chest it was? I always forget the name. This one. The Replica Restless Ward, which gives you minimum -2 maximum friend's endurance, but therefore like 2 extra movement speed and like twice amount of life regen. So if we assume we get to like 17 endurance charges, you know, times 140 would be 2.4k life per second. Adding some more % regen nodes and life recovery rate, you can probably get this up to like 3,000 to 4,000 regen with the charge stacker. And with that, having then Overleech as a Slayer, you know, Badge of the Brotherhood, Masterful Form, Christmas Tree builds, I think they will still be able to use that Rage Gloves in a very good manner that just say, hey, I can keep up Berserk probably a minute straight or longer. So... Okay, so Annihilating's approach is now 6k. Still a lot though. Oh, so no cheesing stacks anymore. Aw. Once Fuller Boots is like some stamina thing. Mist Wall Unique Shield, your maximum chance to block spell damage if you have not blocked recently. I mean, Versatile Combatant is not bad at all, but it wouldn't really justify taking the chest. Culling Strike. Hinekara's Lock can no longer foresee the result of corrupting an item at the altar of corruption. Nice. The main releases all bosses at once. Mother can now once again roll on Maven's invitations. Alright, that's good. Makes killing them faster. Are these just like lower versions? Because the names don't tell me anything, so I guess these are like lower versions. Because they have like 3 different types of each, right? Psychotic X I know. Extra plus 10 rage, that's really good. So they basically buffed all the experimental base types. RE impact 1.4 seconds. Oh, they buffed the cock ring? He plans to play Ruthless sometime in the league? Well, no. As long as they don't make it that you can have a normal game experience just with like extremely low drop chances, but just the fact that you cannot obtain certain things. Like, for example, if you would be willing to farm a Mage Blood in Ruthless, you know? Then yeah, then probably instead of 1,000 Crimsons, you have to run 10,000 Crimsons or 20,000 Crimsons. Per card, that is. But you could still, at some point, farm that shit. But having it not be able to drop is just stupid. I don't know. Yeah, Simplex is gonna be very cool to craft, though. I think Tuna posted, like, an idea of a Simplex. I think I posted it to Casey. Let me see. Like, good luck crafting that. But 20 quant, 108 rarity. All 7 Ruthless players are disappointed now. There's basically 2 rarity rolls and 1 quantity roll. Yeah, so 1 prefix, double suffix. And I think quantity is a suffix, or was it a prefix? But rare, now, I think quantity is a suffix, rarity is a suffix, but there is also rarity for prefix, so technically you can hit double rarity. But yeah, having something like this for Magic Finder might be good. A single boss fight. Okay. We have Torment, Anarchy, Ambush, Beyond, Blight, Expedition, Ultimatum. I think this is not really that important anymore. I mean, it is, but you still have like the 7 Gateway Keystone, right? Where you can like get all the other stuff back as well, which I think is really cool. That is a bit weird. That is a good change. Less crit, but more multi. Because at some point you're going to have 100% crit, so that's going to scale insanely well. I mean, something that Captain Lance was playing last league, I think. His scuffed version. Chris Mastery, Captain Lance. Something like this. And he had 12 or 13 power charges using Frenzy. But that was in Forge Crucible League. So it was a blood like coming in with the Prime Roni. From now on, one sub is 1% increased rarity and quantity of items found for mbX. Ha! Yeah. Ha! Yeah, as if, man. How many hours do I have in PoE? How many hours do I have in PoE? Let me see. 0 Mage Bloods, 0 Headhunters, 0 Mirrors, 0 Calandra's Touch. I do have 13,464 hours. So in 13,500 hours, I have never gotten either. My RNG is just undisputed best ever. And it is not only in this game, there is other games where this is exactly the same. Some people, for the World of Warcraft players in here. This was my first vault of the season, and I picked a socket. I'm literally the only person, when there's a new season, that gets the first vault and picks a socket. That is my kind of RNG in this, in playing video games, man. It's undisputed, the freaking worst that you can imagine, dude. But yeah, we played a power charge stacker with Frenzy. And if you do the same with Power Siphon, with a new Power Siphon, it might be even more ridiculous. But yeah, that's not something that you would consider earlier in the league, because power charge gear is insanely expensive. Just the power charge ring, the Calandra's ring and stuff like that. Raid Trinket is good, not for Cat. For balance, yes, but... Maybe we should go once a week to church. The F I will do, man. Imagine going to church. Okay, so patch notes are done. Let's see about this one here. As I said, I'm probably only going to stop on the things that I care about and not read through every single gem, because that's going to take like 4 or 5 hours now, right? So, what is interesting? Answer Protector, I'm using War Chief as well, and Guardian, no, not really. Added 40% increased cooldown recovery rate for Battle Mage's Cry is a buff. Nobody cares about the AoE, honestly. Added increased cooldown recovery rate. I mean, Berserk, the cooldown recovery rate is only active once your Berserk runs out, and then it goes on cooldown. So that time will be lowered, so that's pretty good. Bone Shatter never played, but I guess it's just a buff. I mean, it's insane buff, actually. I heard it. I don't know why you didn't. Properties. Work. Cleave, nobody cares. This is like insane. Deals up to 30% more damage with hits. Close. No, wait, there was a Transfigured gem with Conquer Path where it's like 10% more damage per endurance charge. And then thinking about playing a charge stacking Slayer with like 17 endurance charges is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, just for understanding. This is the old quality, right? This is the new quality that got then later on changed to the new one, right? But the old already means that this was the new version after the increased area of effect. Chic. Correct? I think so. Cares about link skills? Yep, that is true. Herald of Ash? Wait, what's... If they remove the buff grants 50% increased fire damage, that's a quality. But that's not quality. What is the quality of Herald of Ash then? Or is this just... Or does this not have to do anything with quality, actually? Just general skill changes? Yeah, but the buff grants fire damage. It's like removed now. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. The increased cooldown recovery rate. Molten Strike has one additional projectile. Molten Strike got buffed, but it's not gonna be like the actual old version. Oh, Protective Link. Let me see. Ah, new base duration. Crazy. So that is pretty interesting because all the auras nobody cares about unless you're an aura bot. But even then, probably you don't really scale aura AoE. And for single players that most of us are, all this quality on aura gems is just AoE that nobody cares, like, honestly. So that means purities got buffed in terms of how much resistance they give. Reap got buffed. Field Crush, Smite, Static Strike. Beam Frequency. Artillery Ballista are also more arrows. Rush, more arrows. Blade Vortex. Got buffed in damage. And hit rate. I was also thinking about Poison Blade Vortex as League starter. Oh, is it just like a wording thing again? Oh, so fires 5 additional equals 6. And now it fires 7. Which would be the same as fires 6 additional arrows, right? Okay, that makes sense. The wording thing. Yeah, same here everywhere. It's still +1 arrow though. Burning arrow is looking really juicy, not gonna lie. There is a transfigured burning arrow gem that gives you base fire damage equals to 25% of your maximum life. So you could literally play a life stacking burning arrow character and scale your fire damage based on your life pool. And it now has 20% more damage with ignites instead of increased fire damage. Which 20% increased fire damage versus 20% more damage with ignite is a big change in terms of ignite. Cyclone. Got movement speed buff, AoE buff. Oh, all the stages are gone? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yo, Mr. Gooby coming up to 5 gifties, 126 into. Thanks, man. Hello? Hello, sir? Elemental hit. EK fires 15 projectiles. What? Base duration. Holy shit, they simplified this. All the lingering things is like gone. But it lost the duration tag. So it's just like, hey, this is your fizz damage and this is how many projectiles and there you go. Okay, they simplified a lot of things then. Fire Trap, Liquor Strike. Frenzy gets a straight up buff with attack damage and attack speed. Damn. Frostblades get 2 projectiles. Lacerate. Lightning Strike gets an additional projectile. Pestilent Strike, oh boy. I love Pestilent Strike and Plague Bearer and stuff. So fast built. 69% more damage with blading. I see what you did there. Snipe has now 7 stages. Also big buff. 5 additional projectiles for SST, but they remove a lot of projectile speed from all sources, right? Like I have so many skill gems where I see that projectile speed got removed. Wonder if EK will have a transfigure gem that does a Nova. That could be. That could be actually. Yo, split arrow now has 30 and like 12 additional arrows instead of 8. Damn. Storm rain buff. Tornado shot got secondary projectiles +1. That's a buff. Like, was there one gem yet that got actually a nerf? Oh, there we go. Arc. Added 50% more damage with hits and elements for each remaining chain. So this is like, I think it is just a wording thing. I don't think that this actually means that Arc is dealing now a lot more damage. Because, for example, we're still on the old PUB. So if I go to my 322 build, and then we have somewhere... Val Arc Ignite, League Day 8. So, I'm having here 5 or 4.3 mil Ignite. If I go to the config and say, okay, skill has chained like 10 times, you see that the ignite damage like goes down by quite a margin. So this 15% for each remaining chain was already in the game for ignite as well. So I think this is just a wording thingy, but it did already work the way before. We count in enchants and alt qualities, then many gems got nerfed. Yeah, but how often do you actually use... I mean, enchants is like a... You know what I think about the enchant change? Some gems lost some quality of life, because honestly, I don't care about enchant like 40% increased damage with arc. You know, it doesn't change anything. A bit of damage and that's it. It's only like an increase. Berserk buff effect is like really cool, for example, but... Thinking about losing a lot of sources of mana reservation efficiency as a helm enchant. That could be a big thing. Or like enchants that kind of like modify the skill. Molten Strike get +3 balls, yeah, but now Molten Strike has higher projectiles by default. So yeah, in that case it might be a minor nerf because of the missing. But as I said, there might be a transfigured EK gem with a Nova, for example. Because apparently every skill gem will probably receive 2 different versions. Because I see a bunch of that with like 2 transfigured gems. Blight here, Contagion. Oh, and with Contagion this transference is pretty cool. So normally you put in a Contagion and you essence drain it. When the monster dies, it spreads the Contagion with the essence drain, right? When the monster dies. So the Contagion of Transference says spreads when affected enemy is hit. So it will already spread when a monster is not dead, but probably only on the first one. But it will still make ED Contagion a lot better for like Delhi or something. So then, the base crit strike chance got buffed. Is not bad, even for ignite builds, because helping to proc ally overload with 1% base crit. Effective lightning elements, chance to shock, yeah, I mean... Now it chains 1 extra time. I think this is actually the same. Well, technically. Because you had +7. Now it's +8. But this is the new quality, I think. New quality, if you get 20% quality on arc, it chains 1 extra time. Which basically replaces the helmet chant. This is a bit weird. I mean, you get more damage out of it, but the shield of Arcane Cloak is actually insane. No, they didn't remove the more damage. They added it over here, and they removed it over here. It's just a wording thing. The more damage for each remaining chain stays. Which is the most important part.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted.
Yo, Wolverine Johnny, thanks for the prime, sir. Conversion trap. Conversion trap is just the most useless thing in the entire game, man. Good old Eternity Shroud conversion, dude. You are more coming in with a 10 gift is 164 in total. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a bazillion times.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay. New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
So, Curse has got a bit nerfed.
Access granted. Enjoy your stay. New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
That is a weird thing.
New subscription
Essence Drain now doubles the amount of damage as life, but in mapping you get to like 200,000 life per second, so that change doesn't do anything, but maybe for single target it's actually helping.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay. New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay. New subscription
I think EK Ignite should be fine, why not?
access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Herald of Thunderstorms hit enemies with 20% increased frequency. What I think means it's the same now with 20% quality. That means Herald of Thunder hits every 0.25 seconds. So if we multiply this by 0.8? 1.2. So it will hit every 0.3 seconds by default, and when it has 20% quality, it hits every 2.5, like 0.25, which is exact the same thing as it is right now with 2.25. Yeah, Tikhonek, I think so too, yeah. So if you enhance the quality, you enhance the hit rate. And with Double Storm Secret, your Herald of Thunder hits like what? Every 0.1 seconds? Which is a straight buff to Herald of Thunder Poison. Yeah, I could, but I could do a lot of things. I could just stop the stream, go outside, and then touch grass. You know, I haven't done that in a while, but I cannot right now because There's snow, so. Screw the grass. This one is insane. So, what it has now is 30% less damage with ailments and deals 10% more damage with hits against branded enemies. They removed per energy. They super simplified the gem. Now it has a damage effectiveness of 570% instead of 40. Now it deals 2.5 to 3.8 thousand base physical damage instead of 170 to 250. Now activates every 0.1 seconds instead of 0.5 seconds. That is insane. But how does it work now? Make a brand which can attach to nearby enemy. It activates while attached, adding energy to the branded enemy. When the branded enemy reaches 20 energy stacks, a large explosion occurs and the brand is removed. But the thing is, you know how I tried to make Penance Brand work like several times? And the big issue with Penance Brand is you need a tremendous amount of cast speed. And I'm not talking about like 200% increased attack speed, like cast speed. You want to have like 1500% and then another 300% more cast speed to make it feel good. So what happens is, even let's say your Penance Brand explodes with 20 energy, dealing 1 billion damage. Okay, so you put this brand down and you play like with unbound ailments and I don't know, like shit, you know. But the problem is it will explode after like 4 seconds. And that means you put the brand down, and while it charges up, you're dealing 0 damage. So yeah, you might do 1 billion damage hit after 4 seconds, which is the same as a 250 million DPS build that deals damage from the first second. So while you're waiting for your brand to explode and gather energy, like nothing happens. And this was especially bad while mapping. So imagine there is a pack of monsters, you put down your brand, it starts like energizing and flowing around, and as a mapper, you know, you do like one attack or one cast and you just run and kill everything, right? So what happens, you put down your brand, you run through the monster and you just die. Because your brands were still energizing while you were already moving through the pack. So it feels super awkward. And now it activates like every 0.1 seconds. It means without cast speed, it will explode in 2 seconds. So that is a major buff. But how will it play like? That's the question. You know, you can give me the craziest best gem or skill in the entire game. If it feels bad to play, I'm not gonna play it. As simple as that. If Penance Brand feels amazing to play, GG. If it has insane damage scaling and whatnot, and it's crazy good damage, but it feels bad to play, then I'm not gonna play it. No. The Activate 0.5 is the old version. The new one has 0.1 by default. It actually explodes after 1 second if 2 are attached. Exactly. But without cast speed. That is the thing. The 0.1 activation frequency is baseline. And as far as I know, yeah. Increases and reductions to cast speed also apply to this skill's activation frequency. If you add 100% cast speed, it activates twice every 0.1 second. So exactly. So that might make a big difference in how it plays. Because honestly, every time I try Penance Brand, at some point I give up and just play Stone Brand instead, because it's a way simpler skill. I put down the brand, it deals damage from the first frame, you know, and the more cast speed I have, the more damage I have. So that's why Stone Brand, even though like Penance Brand, don't get me wrong, Penance Brand has like way better scaling than Stone Brand. Because it's a physical brand and not a lightning brand. So physical spells, brands, attacks, they're always good for like something like Eternity Shroud, because damage conversion. And this is something you can do with Penance brand, but not with Storm brand, or at least like partly. So yeah, Penance brand had way better damage scaling in endgame as Storm brand, but nobody played Penance brand, or barely played Penance brand, because you need like 1,000 different factors to make this skill good. So why putting all the effort and work if you can just use Storm brand, stack cast speed and levels, and you're good to go, you know? But the thing is, like, 570% effectiveness of added damage. You know what that tells me? Maybe building it the same way as I played my Fireburst character. Where you go a Replica Shroud and stack as many Abyss Jewels that you can get. That just have, like, a shit ton of, like, flat damage to spells. Because as I said, 570% damage effectiveness is ridiculous. I don't know how much Fireburst has, but... I think it's gonna be good for Ultimatum because it's a brand. You know, if monsters die, the brand is on the floor, jumps to the next one. And I think the quality of Stonebrand will also be that... that it gets one extra beam or something. It's a bit weird. Fires a projectile at up to 7 targets. That is always so weird, because what does that mean? If there is no enemies in my on my screen, it's not gonna shoot any projectiles. So off-screening with Power Siphon might be super bad. Because there's a difference if it fires just a projectile, and if it hits, or if it fires a projectile to a target. And how big is that target? Like, the range. Is it 2 screens around me, or is it like half a screen? So if a monster is on the top right side of my screen, and I use Power Siphon, it doesn't do anything because it's not in range. I mean, that's like a bit weird. You know, fire a single projectile each at a number of nearby enemies. That is... I mean, I know how Power Siphon works. But it might be clunky. But think about Poison Penance or Penance Brand. Frequency should be bonkers, even with less damage for ailments. Not really, because... Penance Brand doesn't deal damage as long as it's loading up. And then it's like one big hit. Storm Brand is different. It hits frequently. But just because the activation frequency on Penance Brand is 0.1 doesn't mean it hits every 0.1 and then you can scale poison with it because you're gonna hit like 100 times in like 5 seconds. Penance Brand doesn't deal damage as long as it's charging. So Purity of Elements just gets like all resistance. So they removed the base fire damage from Righteous Fire. I don't understand why. Because this is literally the old version of Righteous Fire, and then they removed... Or they lowered the extra damage from your life and added base damage, which made the skill a lot better early stages in the game because of base damage. And now they removed the base damage and put the values back to what it was like 3 years ago. So the activation isn't a hit in yet. No, the activation on Penance Brand is not a hit. No. User Reconna coming in with a T1 Sabaroni. Thank you. Thanks for 53. Fireburst is only 250 effectiveness, but still a lot. Most gems have like a negative effectiveness. Like, not a negative in that case, but negative, like less than 100. So it means if you add 100 flat damage, it's only gonna be 70% for the spell. Okay. They have like one additional, like Stormbrand would also be nice. That's gonna be so weird. Now Vortex cannot be used as a walking anymore. Damage penetrates ally res on hit with conviction. Okay. Wind Orb gets the Helm enchant included. Should be a good buff to Wintertide Brand. Valark buffed. Was this Sigmund? Yeah, just like from the way I looked at it. Made more sense, but... There's the alternate quality from Ice Bite, that's also like really good. You know what I like about these changes? Usually you always open your PUB and go to skills, and then we're like, okay, discipline, AoE, not really, so I'll probably stick with damage. Then you go to the next one. Oh yeah, okay, what is the best one of those? You don't care about this anymore. It will be a lot faster to buy gems now for your alt, and you don't have to care about alternate quality and how expensive those are, and you know, Phantasmal Smite being like 40 divines in the Val version and whatnot, so... Yo, Mr. That mbXtreme. Prime, thanks, man. Ja, was? Yeah, as a non-heist enjoyer, I don't care about that. So the alternate quality power charge on crits doesn't work anymore. Swiftbrand, but buffed with more activation frequency instead of increased. I can see that the arc is doing this, yeah. So now we can go over the transfigure gems, but there is like not many that I can see, right? So as I said, arc, this is the one, right? An arc of lightning reaches from the caster to a targeted enemy and splits to simultaneously hit several other enemies. Does it mean you hit one enemy and then it like spreads, or does it instantly spread? The beam splits towards 9 additional targets. But yeah, the thing is, if we check my mana arc, thing is, like, it happens so fast, especially with Ignite Prolif. I don't know if this is gonna be good or not. Because this now, you hit an enemy and then it chains from 1, 2, 3, and then it just starts chaining around. But based on clearing, I would hit them instantly. Which might make the mapping feel a bit better. You know, so I hit that monster and now the back ones get... But this is like 0 point something seconds until they are ignited. But it still has a lot more damage. But this one is the most interesting one in my opinion. 50% more damage with hits and ailments for each remaining chain. And there is some weird thingy. An arc of light. Okay, I need to see the default version here. So, an arc of lightning stretches from the caster to a targeted enemy and chains onto other nearby enemies. Each time the main beam chains, it will also chain to a second enemy, but secondary arc cannot chain further. Okay, that's the same. A bit weird. So here, with the same, just like, this version just have like a lot more damage for remaining chains. So this arc will be mainly used for bossing. So I can see that you maybe, based on how the searching one feels like. But if I say, hey, in my inventory I have the searching and I have the oscillating. If I say, yo, I'm gonna do an uber boss or something, I just put in the oscillating because arc doesn't chain. So it gets like 500, 600% more damage. Might be like insane. Yeah, I know gem swap, but I think gem swapping is fine as long as you do it specifically for bossing. You know, I'm not talking about a map boss or something. I'm talking about if you say you want to do Maven or Exarch. It's like really endgame bosses. Then a gem swap I don't mind, but if I have to gem swap every single map, that would be terrible. So yeah, then the other ones, Volley Fire was called a Threshold Jewel. So they put that in. The other ones I'm not really playing. Blight of Contagion is a bit weird. Because the way Blight works is you channel it, or you cast it, and the enemy gets a layer of damage. But it's a short duration, and you need a lot of cast speed to hit the cap of 20 stacks. So I don't really see why you would use Blight with Contagion. Because Blight has like a base duration of 5 seconds, and Essence Drain has like 13 seconds or something. And then you're gonna send like Debuff can have up to 5 layers of damage, which is probably still the same because the base damage on Blight of Contagion is a lot higher, but it has less damage per stack, which is good. Yeah, base secondary duration is 4 seconds, the base secondary duration is 1 second. So still, you need to hit like 5 times within 1 second to actually hit the cap. But then if it spreads, it will just run out. Okay, what is this? Chains remaining. Normal arc. Oscillating. Does it mean above 6 chains? Like 7 is a damage increase. Yeah, but you have like how many chains default? 7. But in my arc version, I think I already played chain support. Yeah, I already played chain support over here. And with Awakened Chain, you get like to 11. Yeah, it could be that you just focus on like max chain, which is cool. Because at some point you're gonna have enough damage that your arc of oscillating is just dealing with every single like monster. And if they die instantly, let's say you're playing Delirium, you press your Val arc, and then there's Kosis spawning. Kosis will be the only monster left, and then you're just pumping in with oscillating. What are you guys talking about? The because I saw Enki was doing something I didn't understand. So Enki posted, I'm not planning to make any guides for 323, but I'll start Arc to test its interaction with Penance Mark. I know that's what you're all here for. So what is Penance Mark? Was this from one of the new sub-ascendancies? Penance Mark curses a single enemy, causing them to spawn multiple phantasms when hit. The phantasms will be allies of the marked enemy. The same monster level. They cast a projectile spell which deals physical damage and are immune to curses. You can only have one mark at a time. Eh? Eh? He's planning to have Arc chained back to the boss, but why? Yeah. Yeah, but still, okay. Spawning enemies that Arc can chain off makes sense, but every time it chains, it loses damage. You know, so, okay, it chains off to another target and then probably back to the boss, if that works. But that chain, the first hit of the chain, of the Arc, will deal a substantial amount less damage, because for each remaining chain, you know? That's why I don't understand why would you do that. No. Phantasm is your minion. How do you chain off that? No, it's an enemy minion. Penance Mark, blah blah blah. The Phantasmas will be allies of the marked enemy with the same monster level. So it's enemies that you spawn. Yeah, can be, but for Ignite version, it doesn't really make sense, because you would just put a weaker Ignite on a target, which gets discarded since it's a weaker Ignite. Well, why would you play non-Ignite Arc? I mean, technically, my mana stacking Scion was insane. I really enjoyed that build. But when I played it, I also said, if I can make this work as Ignite, it will be even better. Which one was it though? Archmage versus Endgame. I guess this was a mapping showcase. I mean, be right back quick anyway, so watch the map showcase basically. Step trying to make this build, and that means you in order to pop an entire legion you would actually need to kill everything at once, right? Which barely ever works. It works on an Ignite build, so that will be the next step, trying to make this build as an Arc Ignite build to be able to actually pop those legions, right? But if you're wondering, I'm using Lightning Warp with Brutality. What Brutality does is just saying no chaos damage, no elemental damage, so basically my Lightning Worm doesn't deal any damage, and the reason for that is because my Lightning Worm is actually doing so much damage that it kills monsters. And as you see here, I can just like Lightning Warp on top of the monsters and nothing happens, because I want to kill the boss before doing anything else on this map, just because I want to block all the boss modifiers from the Eldritch altars. Let's do that first. We're just gonna go over here and search the boss room. Obviously, I'm not gonna find it instantly. What is this? Okay, here we are. So, there is still some form of a mana issue if you are unlucky. And with unlucky, I mean, we are using the Nexus Glove as a ritual base, which says 30% chance when you pay a skill cost to get that much mana. So sometimes I can hold down my Arc, and I will not run out of mana, as you see over here, but sometimes if you're unlucky, you run out of mana. So that's why it's a little bit awkward sometimes for very tanky, like bosses or guardians or whatever bosses you want to kill. Maybe like 100% crucible monster uniques. Those kind of bosses, they, if you're unlucky, could take a while. And once you're seeing this like kind of like, quickly check that, this spike of my life pool, this is basically when I'm activating my Val Righteous Fire. So now we're blocking all the boss nodes, and then I usually just click on the minion nodes because I'm too lazy to read, and actually all I want to get is the Divine Orb Shrine. So now we're getting a Legion, pop Val Arc, and then just run around a little bit and clear off the rest. That's what I mean. You know, it's very hard to like one-tap, for example, a Legion boss, you know? They have like a lot of life. With Val Arc Ignite, this might actually be something that would work, but as an on-hit build, it mostly doesn't work. But nevertheless, sometimes there's just like one monster just doesn't want to get popped. So I'm running away, getting my Val Arc ready, popping Val Righteous Fire, getting into the middle, and just sap everything, click on all the hordes and whatnot. Build is really tanky, I would say, and with really tanky, I'm talking about like 100,000 or 130,000 EHP, and this might look a little bit awkward for some people because they see my 3k life and they are like, bro, how can you have so much tankiness, right? But we're Mind of a Matter, we're agnostic, so I think I run 48% Mind of a Matter. That means 48% of every hit is based on mana, so you can basically just easily double my life pool, and that would be over 7,000 already. So let me quickly get like any kind of weapon so I can show you a Crucible. Obviously this has too much dex. Maybe this one. Okay, I can wear this one, so I can just give it like a showcase. The way I'm doing this, I just hold down until it stops itself, which is 100% lethal Crucible. And yeah, barely ever die on this build. So, as I said, really tanky, really fucking enjoying it. If there is a unique monster here, which I actually hope that we find one. We do not, sadly. Oh, there is one. So now you're gonna see what I mean with the sustained mana if you're lucky or unlucky. So we are just killing off these rare monsters, and now my arc deals more damage because we run Awakened Chain. That means for each remaining chain, this is like how what does it say? Arc works. For each remaining chain, we deal more damage. So now this boss alone, I'm dealing more damage. So I'm gonna put down my circle here. I'm gonna pop my Val Righteous Fire. I'm popping my Val Arc so we get the lucky buff. And then we can just burst down kind of the monster. But as you see, it is just sometimes I'm running out of mana. It is a little bit unlucky. But still, as you see, I'm getting a 50% shock on this guy. Or at least I just had a 50% shock. Now it's back on. But those monsters with 100% lethality, you know, it's not like that my build is doing bad damage. It's just like these 100% lethal unique bosses are just like super tanky. But as you saw, I'm really tanky as well. Okay, let's finish off the rest of the map. Some nice Val Arcs, some clicking over here, some clicking over... Thinking about my first iteration of Arc Ignite. I think it was Delirium Lake. Arc Ignite,
So now we're blocking all the boss nodes, and then I usually...
Archmage Ignite, Trickster. That was my first iteration of Val Arc, actually. That's like, and that's, yeah, quite some time ago. But that was Delhi League, so 13 leagues ago. But usually it was one Val Arc, and it was just that. That was so cool. I think I even did like 100% Dally on that. What gear did I had? It looks weird. Old graphics. Old MBX. Now I'm young again. I was even with Stormfire and scaling the damage that the like Archmage caused with Voidbringer or whatever the thing was called. 100% Dally.
Go with it, as I said, Awakening level 8. We're currently...
Are your glasses? I don't know. They're not like because I see bad, it's just like... You know, these gaming glasses to prevent like blue lights from monitor, I don't know. That was like the ultimate challenge, 100% Dally. But with Arc, like with Ignite builds, 100% Dally feels so comfy just because of Burning Grounds and Ignite prolifs and stuff. You look much better when you're single. What the fuck? Dude, how everything gets like blurry when there's too many monsters. Well, when you're single, you're just fapping a lot more. That keeps you like more healthy and fit, you know, so. Yeah, lady coming in with a T1 for 22. Thank you very much, sir. Or like my very first PoE videos. I mean, I gotta scroll down a bunch here. It's like, how many videos do I have? 999 videos. But yeah, I think the first league I played, or the first videos, yeah, it's like, I can scroll a while here. Like my first Shaper kill. Oh boy. Yeah, I've reached the YouTube limit. You cannot upload more than 999 videos. If anyone told you look like Van Sant from Reign of Fire, never heard of her. Yo, Knut, thanks for the Primaroni. Yeah, I know I can sort by oldest, but the problem is, with many people, that's like, I think it's always funny when people, like, my alternate game to Path of Exile in the downtime I'm playing World of Warcraft. And when they see me playing World of Warcraft, they're like, hey, I didn't know you play World of Warcraft. I'm like, bro, I'm playing this game since 2006, you know? So if you go to oldest, you see a bunch of... Shit, my first 500 subscribers. That is so cringe. That is so cringe. That was in my father's kitchen, by the way. But yeah. Where I showcased my mbXtreme UI back in, what is it, like 12 years ago? Also in the kitchen of my father. Look at this. Young MBX. Short hair, no beard. Holy shit, yes! Where I bought a key for Diablo 3 beta and played that one, like a tutorial. Look way younger now with a cap of... Yeah, bro, I'm fresh. Oh shit, what is this? Dude, the special effects, dude. And you know why I did that? Because my camera was so bad that if I put it on full screen, it looked so blurry that I put myself in a monitor so I can, like, scale down the size of the camera. You know? Bruh. That's, But yeah, as you see, there's a bunch of World of Warcraft, even League of Legends videos, and, Diablo 3, and, yeah. Workout videos. Man, this is like... Imagine going to the gym with the unicorn outfit, man. People were looking at me as if I'm from another planet. But it was still... All the people watching me... Like, this guy here is like, what the fuck am I watching? So, here we are, the first PoE videos. And my first ever uploaded Path of Exile video is... Misery boxes. Doomflash, Pants on Fire.
Your subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Live stream highlights, Dark Pact, The Elder. Did my first Shaper kill. And how happy I was that I defeated it, man. This kind of damage would be unthinkable right now. thinking about like how many void zones there are. Oh shit. You still going to the gym? Yeah, I'm like super recovering right now because I was at Sunday. I did like back biceps workout and my muscles are so sore that I cannot like stretch out my hand. I have like still an angle that I cannot like fully push out my hand because it hurts so much. And my back is also like hurting like freak ton. I actually plan to go Muay Thai today, but I can't because I mean I can keep up my hands, but I can't really punch because my arm is like locked in like a 60 degrees angle, man. I cannot push my hand forward. It's a bit awkward. But yeah, man, look at this battlefield, man. Holy shit. And how happy I was, like almost nerd screams when I was able to defeat the Shaper for the first time. It is like a solid 50k Shaper DPS. Wait for the calling strike. Ah, look how happy it is. Man. First ever Shaper kill. Hell yeah, man. But this is like a bit of a mess on the battlefield, dude, with so low damage. Like the game is so hard if you have bad damage, dude. Oh, it's crazy. Sheesh. Yeah, good old times, man. Self-cast Arc Cat Cyan. With the old graphics, the old lightning. It's like crazy how the game changes over the years. What was that build? Alright, YouTube just died. Lightning Warp, MF Poet, that's what I called it. The Poet's Pen, Arc, Magic Finder. When I went through this little part in the barrel chambers, you know, it's like where you're this underground, the tunnel or whatever, there you're gonna see how different it looks. The question is where there it is. So going through that underground, how weird it looks based on the lightning. Oh, that build was so good. But now check the lightning, how weird it looks. See that? Where you actually see a light radius and stuff like that. That was so good, you know, Poet's Pen, use Frenzy, and then Lightning Warp Arc. That was like one of the fastest leveling that you could have done back in the day. You know, when Exalted Orbs were Exalted Orbs. Yo, Darky, how's it going, man? Dude, every season, like 3,000-4,000 barrel chambers on T3 barrel chambers with Elder Shaper Ping Pong for like blocking your other tier 3 maps, removing T4 and T5 maps, so you were only dropping barrel chambers non-stop. But here you see as well, like the lightning, how everything looks like Diablo 2 thingy. And still no Headhunter? You budget build! This is actually budget build. Goldworms, Sadimas, Biscos, Impulsa. One on the amulet, double poet's pen, and the thing that your shock, freeze, whatever conversion, 3 dragons or whatever it's called. Yeah. Budget builds, man. Yeah, 3 dragons. Five years ago. Damn. Art, you're getting old. Anyways, so, what else do we need to check? Like, this is gonna be the meta ascendancy. It's just like quad stacking an additional inventory slot and 3 other ascendancies times 2 is... The Wildwood Primal is gonna be so meta, dude. Maybe on the start you will pick one of the other 2. But, yeah, gonna be fun, I guess. Anything else that we need to check? There's still Transfigure gems missing. Oh, so 1 refund point per passive. It's a lot cheaper to switch. Okay. Charms, tinctures, and corpses sold by NPC are all tradable. That's good. Do micro distillery belts disable a tincture placed in the 5th slot? Nope, as tinctures are not flasks. That's what I assumed. So with tinctures, you're gonna play one specific belt. At least, unless it's a mage blood, obviously, or a headhunter. But it's gonna be this belt. And it even got buffed, because now it's 30% increased effect. Cannot use flasks in 5th slot. And the thing that I asked myself was instantly like, yo, what if a tincture is in the 5th slot? Because a tincture is not a flask. And that is now confirmed, basically. Are disable a tincture placed in the 5th slot? Nope, as tinctures are not flasks. So you can play this belt with 4 powerful flasks and a tincture in the 5th one. Mm-hmm. Okay, so all the enchants are now legacy and standard. Tinctures will only apply to attacks with weapons. Kinda bad, so tinctures are only for attack-based build. So they're also gonna remove all the alternate quality gems. Damn. Already have an idea for your starter? Yeah, I'm leaning very towards mana stacking Arc, as I played last season, because I really had a lot of fun with the build on it. But one thing that is very interesting, once we get a list of which charms can there be, first of all, I want to know if there is +1 max power charge charms. There should be, because I've seen one charm with like the was the one minimum, or was that this one? I think it had one minimum endurance, one minimum power or something, or two. But I'm not sure if they had one max power charge. And on the next thing, will there be a charm that has all damage can ignite? If yes, then we can finally play other ignite builds other than Elementalist. So, I mean, obviously, Heart of Destruction is insane, but only for the more damage. Arc doesn't scale with AoE. But I would rather play a Scion and go like Hierophant for the maximum mana with the Mind of a Matter buff and stuff like that, and probably something like Raider or, you know, something. And then, or Pathfinder for the Flask charges. And if I'm then able to get all damage can ignite from a charm, opens up so many possibilities. I mean, there's a charm that all damage can poison. Yeah, so I think there will be Shaper of Flames as a form of a charm. And Heart of Destruction. The exposure thing is also, like, very strong. I mean, this is not, like, a bad thing, you know? Especially since your Arc dealing lightning damage. You can get Element like Delirium and get the fire exposure. And then buff it by your Mastermind of Discord. Yeah, there is a bunch of, like, nodes where you can get chance to ignite here, for example, 20%, while you lose, like, 6-dot multi, or other things where you have chance to ignite. The problem is just Hawking, which cannot happen before, because it's like the ignite, only fire spells. So all damage can ignite is the major thing. The hits always ignite, you know, like, even the craft on your weapon can have, like, increased fire damage and chance to ignite, some stuff on the tree, and, you know, I think even gems do have chance to ignite. Like other swords. Like, I don't see a big issue with that. Yeah, I know there's Stormfire Ring, but I don't like to use Stormfire Ring. I'd rather use Polaric Devastation. Plus, for example, Barracks Ring for Ignite Prolifs, or a Curse on Hit Ring. That's better than Stormfire. I mean, Stormfire is not like a bad ring, right? It's not a bad ring, but there is other rings that are better. They have mana regen, res, burning damage for each time you have shocked and non-shocked enemy recently, up to 120, so that's like for clearing, it doesn't really affect anything for bossing. And then you get flat lightning damage to hit against ignited enemies. So it is a decent ring, but there can be other things like dot multi rings, essence crafted rings, synthesized rings. The only thing you really need is this line over here. And just sacrificing a ring slot just to get this line, I'd rather have like a charm sacrificed and then have like a synthesized ring with a curse, for example. Like flammability or something, right? But yeah. Good. Then I would say we're gonna leave it as it is right now. We need to wait for Transfigured Gems Part 2. Today's Tuesday. I think I'm not sure about the next stream. I think it just will be League Start. Because usually I'm always like, let's say I chill before League Start. I don't want to, you know, all this like pre-hype thingy. Video-wise, I need to wait until we get more information. As I said, Penance Brand might be a contender. Burning Arrow might be a contender. Because there is like one very interesting alternate quality. Where was it? Was a green gem. Here, Burning Arrow of Vigor. Deals added fire damage equal to 24% of maximum life and 20% more damage with Ignite, which is like the change from Burning Arrow, right? So Burning Arrow, Ignite, Chieftain or something might be a thing in stacking life and do something like that, but I'm not too sure about it. There's a Darky coming with the Prime Aroni 37, thank you very much. Remember your next video, your upload will be number 1000? Yeah, I know. But I could also just delete one of the old videos, KW. How's your cat? They're wonderful. Oh, you mean about the surgery that my cat had? Yeah, it's better. Because my cat, like, stopped eating and stopped everything because he had, like, an infection in his teeth. And that's why he didn't want to, like, eat anything anymore. So we had, like, a kind of an emergency surgery where they took away like half of the parts of his teeth and stuff like that. So but for some reason after maybe I still have the video. I can watch it over here. Oh yeah, I can. It is basically what happened after I went home from the vet, right? After the cat surgery.
Oh no.
Barely move, like, you know, still like dizzy from narcotics and stuff. But since then, he's like very fucking needy. He cannot, like, even if I enter the room and he sees me, then he instantly starts purring because he's like so thankful that the pain is over. And but yeah, I was just a bit, how you say, not like surprise is the wrong word, but dude, vets are so expensive. I had to pay €100 just so they check the blood of my cat. They charged me 319 for removing the teeth. Then they charged me another 70 for just checking up the cat again. And next week they gave me another appointment. So this entire thing will probably be like €600. It is crazy. But that's why I said, dude, spaghetti and ketchup for the next 3 weeks, and I should be fine, man. But this is like all the kind of like money that you not plan to spend, you know? And then all of a sudden your cat gets sick, you go to the vet, yo, we need to do surgery, and then all of a sudden, yeah, all for the kitty. I don't care about spaghetti with ketchup for the next 3 weeks, but at least the cat is doing fine. The allergy test for our cat, the test and checkup alone was $250. Yeah, it's like vets are so expensive because they know you're gonna do everything for your cat, right? Or for your animal. But it's crazy, man. $5 limb check, €87. Well, let me see, where's the cat? Ah, but now he's feeling good again. Hey. Get a kiss. You're sniffing my beard. But yeah. Good, then I'm done for today with this stream. We covered the patch notes, some of the gems, plans. I'm gonna wait for new stuff, and probably on like Thursday or Friday, I will probably pick my final decision for my league starter and make a video about that, like my plans and so on. And then we're gonna see us on Friday evening And going into the new league. And don't forget, the league starts earlier this time around. It's 8 p.m. instead of like 22 or 23. So don't forget about that. 8 p.m. Middle European time. But basically just check your timer here and you should be fine for your side of the stream. Or on the world, I guess. Alright, boys. Thank you very much. I see that the YouTube stream was kind of a success. At least it works. I don't think there was any issues with streaming on 2 platforms. I just need to like figure out how I can make the chat bigger because there's like a lot more chat activity on YouTube. It's like hard to like, because I have to read 2 chats at the same time, and every time one of the chats is moving, I'm like, okay, well, let me see. It's like, but at least it works, and that's the most important part. So I can start streaming on both platforms at the same time on League Start and stuff like that. So that was like a testing stream on top of that. Alright, boys. Peace out, much love. Have a good evening. And see you on Friday, I guess, hopefully.